G'day and welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute. Today I'm joined by Osiris, and my
Hello.
voice just went really squeaky. We're also joined today by Redset601. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Good to hear. So Red's come with us today with a really interesting kind of situation. We've got $0 CCUs around the corner that are about to disappear, and he's got some really good $0 CCUs. He had so much stuff that we had to kind of go through this with him off air. It was just a lot to unpack, and it would have been like, put it this way, we spent 2 hours doing it. So it would have been a very, very long show. And we've just gone through him with that, and we're going to kind of go back through that now. And this will probably be a shorter
Fast
show.
forward mode.
Yes. So, Red, tell us a little bit about yourself, your org, and what your role in your org is, and your son.
Yeah. Sorry, my son was talking about it.
So good.
Yeah, so I'm Redshirt 601, my son 602. He's a little guy, so we'll get to play when he's in high school, I guess. I got into the game around 2015. I was really attracted to the Redeemer and then bought in a little bit more and more. Changed that around to a couple other to try and take as much advantage as I possibly can. My org, I'm in a military org. We do a lot of PvP in Arena Commander, and I intend to be a military group. It's called Enemy Contact, and you might have heard of that. That's Nuclear Fire's Guild. He and I have been around for a long time. So anyway, and my role in that is because I play very late night Pacific time, like Hawaii time, and I will be probably playing by myself a lot. So my role is to be kind of the recon guy, to go out and map and check out, enemy areas and areas to exploit in the middle of the night. Provide a report. Next morning, guys take advantage of it.
Yep. And you kind of came to us and said that what ships you had, and you kind of told us what you wanted to do, and that's kind of where our recommendations have kind of gone from there. So we'll go back and look at the ships that you. So tell us about the pack that you've got, the Explorers pack, and kind of what ships they're at right now.
Yeah, so the Explorer pack is that I got quite a while ago is the Carrack, the Terrapin, and the Dragonfly. I think that whole thing, and then you get Squadron 42 and the downloads and a bunch of UEC and whatever. So I can't really melt that. If I melt it, I have to go back and pay a lot more for it. So like once I make a decision, I'm stuck with it. The big thing is back in the day, it was the Warden, the Endeavor, the Carrack, the Redeemer, and a couple other ships, the Crucible, I believe, and the BMM, if I didn't mention already, all were at $250. And so we all bought, and they expressly said, buy $0 CCUs so that you can switch between them as development happens. So those $0 CCUs are going away. So now it's time for me to decide what ships I need in this pack, or at least what $0 CCUs I'm going to have to take advantage of before the end of the month.
So going through your ships, you've got the Carrack, a Terrapin. You had a Nox in that pack that I believe is now a Buccaneer.
Dragonfly, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was Dragonfly that is now a Buccaneer.
And then you have a Cutlass Black.
Yeah, and that was the referral, so I paid a whole $10.
But it's got LTO on it, so it's fine. So basically, with the gameplay that you mentioned, what we ended up recommending for you was turning essentially the Buccaneer into an Endeavour. So that would leave you with a Carrack, a Terrapin, and an Endeavour, and that was based off what you told us, which was you wanted to do long distance recon, you wanted to be able to do solo recon, and basically you were a really big fan of the Carrack, and you liked the whole Star Trek gameplay, which we also recommended the Endeavour for because of the saucer section break-off thing. But also mentioned you wanted a variety of gameplay, including support, which is you also get that from the Endeavour. So basically what it really comes around to now is what you want to decide to do with that. But also, I would also look at possibly upgrading that Cutlass Black, or potentially the Terrapin, and getting another Terrapin down the road during the anniversary sale, just so you can utilize the other $0 CCUs that you have now and come back around to the smaller ships at another date. So
Yeah,
are
I
you
think
leaning?
a couple of the relevations through our long discussions were, the Endeavor is kind of the switchblade or the Swiss Army knife of
Yep.
everything. And once it's developed, it's going to go way higher, we think, than $350.
Oh,
Right?
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You might be able to take an Endeavor and flip it into a Polaris.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And that's stuff we've said to you before. 100%. Yeah. Like, just to put it in perspective, he can take his Buccaneer that he's got right now, guys. So this is a Buccaneer that he got in a pack, so he's obviously saved money on that already. But basically, essentially, with the upgrade chain that he has, and he can turn it to an Endeavor, and the total cost of that Endeavor would be $220, which is insane. That's
part of the kit. It'd actually be cheaper individually, but whatever.
Yeah. But just to put it in a monetary value that people understand, it's $220 for a $350 ship with its $130 saving, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah. And that puts you in a really great position, even if you don't end up falling in love with the Endeavor. Like you said, you can sell it for UEC in game. You can sit on it, wait for the price to jump, and CCU it into something else, a Polaris, a Hammerhead, whatever new ship comes out later on this year. It gives you better options.
We were joking with him, wouldn't it be funny if you could flip that into a Polaris and literally you'd get like a half-price Polaris? It would be crazy. Which is totally viable. It may actually end up going that way. Of the two ships left to be kind of redone, of the older ones, being the Endeavor and the Crucible, the Endeavor definitely has the biggest potential to grow. But even things like the Banu Merchantman, we've seen that go from a ship that was $250 to potentially now being larger than the Polaris, which is scary. So there are definitely a few options out there. So I guess really at the end of the day, what we really want to ask you, Red, is are you leaning towards going for ships that you want now or going more down an economic route?
Still a struggle because, I kind of want to just be able to say, okay, I got my fleet. This is what I want to do. But on the other hand, if I want to keep playing ship arbitrage, right, and try and min-max my dollar value, clearly a couple of the Carrack, I know I'm going to want an Endeavor, perhaps. Even the Terrapin could go up $30 and then be flipped into a BMM, right?
Yep.
So it's, for me, it's like, do you want your little Carrack and Redeemer trucking around out there, or do you want to go be a space billionaire? Right?
Yeah. So the other thing you were mentioning too before the show, I think you said about $600 something worth of value, like how much you've paid, but the ships are currently worth like $1,100. Can you just give me those figures again?
Yeah. Let me do one quick math.
Also,
if I was to have a sorry, looking at spreadsheets. If I was to go with a Carrack and two BMM and Endeavor, I would end up paying plus in the package. And the Cutlass Black, that would be $645. And when you look at what they're currently valued at, that's $1,150.
Yeah. So he's done really, really well.
Yeah, he played really well.
So you can see why CIG wants to get rid of these.
All right, and this is this is the takeaway for everyone listening who CIG's forcing the community's collective hands here with removal of $0 CCUs. So I guess the final part of my recommendation is if you don't know what you want to do with your $0 CCUs, then the only way you can hedge against this is to upgrade into something that gives you the best economic position going forward. So like we said, that Endeavor is going to be probably a $425, $450 ship at some point in the future.
What do you think the BMM is going to be eventually?
Give me 2 seconds. The other ship that's grown quite significantly recently is the Orion, but the Orion doesn't fall into that. But if you look at what's happened to the Orion, that is a very much a similar tell what's going to happen to that Endeavor. We've literally seen a doubling in size of the Orion to accommodate certain things. with all those modules that are going onto that Endeavor, if that doesn't increase in size, I would be so surprised. So getting back to your questions about the Banner Merchantman, what we think about that, just a few things that we've heard. It looks like it's probably going to be larger than the Polaris. And I wouldn't... I honestly, if it's larger than the Polaris, it's probably going to cost more than the Polaris, let's be honest. It's also an alien ship, so that will also increase the factor as well. So, look... I think at the end of the day, it's not just the economic value. There is what you want to do with it in the end. So while you might not turn around and say use the Banner Merchant yourself, someone in game is going to want that off you. So if there are too many Banner Merchantmans, then they might not sell. So you've got to take that into a factor as well. It's just not hard to 100% guarantee what the future is going to hold, and that's the hardest part of all this. I think your safe bet is to at least take one Endeavor, because I think you will definitely utilize it yourself. What you do with the second one is entirely up to you. But I'd be trying to utilize it myself. I'd be trying to make economic gains. And because you're in such a large organization, I really think you should talk to your org and see what you could potentially turn that into that is of use to your organization.
We mentioned orgs that have piles of ships. I think we've got a couple javelins in our fleet, like all together. But I'm the support guy. I'll bring what's needed.
A couple, that's cute. I was once in a room with 6 people, and 5 people in the room brought a javelin. I felt very small. Anyway.
Really? Yeah.
I think we'll wrap it up there, man. So yeah, unless you want to tell us what you've decided what you're going to do, but it sounds like you've got a lot of thinking to do before the end of the month.
Well, what I'm going to do is like when I get back to work and I have nothing to do is try and map out the whole CCU change to advantage how many Endeavors I can get. Right? Yeah, that sounds like a good.
Yeah. Endeavor is the one ship I'd be going down based just off of that area of ships. The Banner is another one you could go down, so you could also hedge your bets and go one of each. It's just really hard to make that call at this point in time, which is the safer one. But we know where the Banner is kind of going to end up. We don't kind of know where the Endeavor is going to end up. But if you look at it from a gameplay perspective, I think you're going to get a lot more gameplay out of an Endeavor than you're going to get out of a Banner, just because of the modules. So, which definitely. One is going to be more popular? Probably the Endeavor, just because it does more. That's just logic.
Plus, with the modules in mind, you could sell one Endeavor to buy the modules that you want for your first.
Yep, you could, but just remember, it's kind of like a sell your fighter situation where those modules are only going to be worth $100 to $200 as they are sold now. So you wouldn't want to buy, like anyone that I wouldn't recommend buying a master set. Put it that way.
They'll be cheaply affordable in game is the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd just set yourself up with an Endeavor and the modules. And if you've got another economic based ship that can help you earn those modules, you'll be fine. And you've got that in the Terrapin and the Carrack, so you should make enough money with those to feed your Endeavor. All right.
Right on.
So I hope good luck with your tough decisions, sir, because I do not envy you at all. But good luck, because I think you've got some really good CCUs there. I'd also hold on to your options for your defend. You've got a Super Horde and a Defender one, and you've got a Defender to a Santoki Eye. They are both going to jump in price as well, so I would hang on to those, and that's another option that you have as well, because I know you wanted a Defender ship. You mentioned the Redeemer, but you could also, as you said, if you get a Banner Merchantman, the Defender would be a good option to go with that, or the Santoki Eye, if it turns out being the superior fighter. So yeah, a lot of information, been very hard to break this one down, but yeah, good luck, and get back to us. I'd like to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Cool.
All right, thanks Osiris. I've been XQ. Thank you, Mr. Redshirt 601 and 602.
Thank you for coming on.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.